Next up, we have Cynthia Nikitin. I'm very excited and honoured to have Cynthia join us this morning. Cynthia is a resilient places strategist in New York. Cynthia has led numerous large-scale, multi-sectorial place-based community projects and over 100 place-making training workshops and seminars around the world during her 28 years with Project for Public Spaces. Cynthia's technical expertise stretches from the development of downtown master plans and transit facility and station area enhancement projects to the creation of corridor-wide transportation and land use strategies, to the development of creative placemaking initiatives, the coalescing of government buildings, libraries and cultural institutions into civic centres, using placemaking to create safer and healthier cities and upgrade informal settlements in the developing world. So I'm delighted this morning to welcome Cynthia Nikitin.
Hello, I'm Cynthia Nikitin, and I have worked for the past 30 years to create great public spaces in cities and towns around the world in collaboration with the people who live there. Utilizing a process called placemaking, which was developed by Project for Public Spaces, with whom I worked for 28 years, I've helped cities and rural communities redesign their downtowns, their waterfronts, public transport facilities, parks, plazas, libraries, and main streets in ways that enhance sociability and connectivity, make them more safe and active, and that transform them into places to go to, not just pass through. Placemaking is essentially a multifaceted approach to the planning, design, and management of public spaces. Put simply, it involves looking at, listening to, and asking questions of the people who use or live by or work near a particular space in order to discover their needs and aspirations. This information is then used to create a common vision for that place that addresses the challenges and identifies opportunities for improvement. The vision can evolve quickly into an implementation strategy, beginning with small-scale, doable changes that can generate immediate impacts and benefits to public spaces and the people who use them. What I've come to realize over the years is that great cities really are defined by their public spaces. There's Regent's Park in London, Central Park in New York, the Sydney waterfront, Campus Martius in Detroit, and the River Lee in Cork, where this placemaking work has taken me most recently through my collaboration with Wessel Badenhorst and Urban Mode. As small cities across the world struggle with the immediate effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, they're beginning to look for long-term recovery strategies. That is, to build economies and cultures that will be able to weather the changes ahead. Black Rock Village, with all the work they've been doing to pedestrianize and activate their town center, is a perfect example of this. As difficult as the economic downturn has been for cities and communities, it has also offered an unprecedented chance to pause and reflect upon our practices, to course correct, and to envision a more just, more inclusive, more sustainable future. Smaller and mid-sized cities, while particularly vulnerable to economic disruptions, can also lean into their strong community ties and fabric and adapt new strategies, forge new partnerships, informed by the past, but mindful of what lies ahead. There are a number of practices that can be implemented in planning for the future, especially in light of climate change. First is the engagement of impacted residents and socially vulnerable populations in shaping the public realm. The future of resilient cities depends on residents and their investment in and involvement with the places in which they live. A community's connection to place is at the very heart of resilience. In fact, resilience on its own has limited value if residents feel little attachment to or investment in the place. Therefore, we need to make collaboration inescapable, which means co-designing with residents and citizens at both the neighborhood and district scale. Second, we need to build equity into every decision. The goal is environmental quality and human equality. Great places are not only environmentally sound, they're also socially just. We must be prepared to question and reflect upon our underlying preconceptions in terms of what defines success, who ultimately benefits, and what the unintended consequences and outcomes might be, and who may be negatively impacted as a result. Third, we need to look for achieving multiple social, economic, health, and environmental co-benefits in every project, development, strategy, scheme, or design, whether planned or underway. That's where the notion of innovation really comes into play. Thinking laterally, thinking outside the box, and most definitely outside of professional silos is the best way to achieve a wide range of goals, and often for the same level of investment. I call this resilient placemaking, and I've been developing this planning framework during my senior fellowship with Sustainable Hudson Valley in New York. So here's an example. Hoboken, New Jersey, a small city on the western shore of the Hudson River, in the wake of Hurricane Sandy, pledged to tie resilience and recovery planning to their Vision Zero pedestrian safety initiative, which in turn was tied to water main replacement, with the ultimate goal of building the social fabric of the city and a sense of cohesion within its neighborhoods. Whenever they dig up the streets to replace the aging combined sewer and storm mains, which is frequently, they rebuild the streets with curb extensions, bike lanes, water retention structures, accessible ramps, green infrastructure, and high visibility crosswalks. Hoboken's Northwest Resiliency Park, which is currently under construction, will transform an asphalt-covered lot into a vegetated park that will manage at least 1 million gallons of stormwater. However, not only will this park play an important role in the mitigation of flooding from frequent storm events and help to relieve the overtaxed combined sewer system, but this infrastructure project forms the foundation for a park that will promote the physical health and well-being of the residents in the adjacent community who live in social housing and who lack easy access to green space. While the park works to manage stormwater, it will also provide a place for neighbors to meet, play, exercise, learn, and relax. Strengthening social cohesion and endeavoring to generate a myriad of co-benefits from urban regeneration initiatives are two of the most important ways of building resilience that help cities not only bounce back, but bounce forward. And focusing on programming, activating, upgrading, and managing a city's public spaces is the surest way of achieving both. I wish everybody a fantastic and thought-provoking experience at the Sandyford Innovation Week, and in the coming months, I look forward to working closely with the Sandyford Business District, their stakeholders, and the Dun-Laoghaire-Rathdown County Council on their placemaking and mobility project to develop and visualize a program for Sandyford in 2021 and beyond. Sláinte.
Thank you, Cynthia. It's truly inspiring what Cynthia has achieved in New York over the last number of years, and we hope to emulate that in Sandyford Business District over the coming months and years.